Hello and welcome to Sacred Strategy. This week we'll be going through the new moon in Sagittarius and the human design gate 10. I'm Andrea. I'm an identity and confidence coach and business strategist. I use human design, gene keys with a sprinkle of astrology to support primarily women over 45 to navigate who they are and who they want to be in now and in the future and for their business. Over to you, Chantilly.
All right. Thank you, Andrea. I am Chantilly Monique. I am a divine feminine coach, a brand strategist, and I use astrology and tarot and any other thing I can find to help women create brands that are in alignment with who they really are.
Thank you. And as usual, Chantilly's going to pull us our weekly cards, and over to you again.
All right. So I pre-shuffled and the cards I got was the eight of pentacles, not the eight, the ace of pentacles reverse. So there could be some ideas about money, ideas about finances that could be keeping us unmotivated and really thinking small when it comes to money. And I do feel like it has a lot to do with this new moon's connection to Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about expansion. So if we're thinking small about money, then there's some wounds that we need to go ahead and dig up, uproot. I feel like with the Four of Swords right here, could have been stuck financially, and it could have been through different parts of 2025 where we could have been stuck, and we could be just like thinking about that and seeing with the Ace of Cups, what kind of thought patterns and energies do we need to leave behind that could be keeping us like shrinking our finances or our abilities and opportunities to have more financial opportunities.
Yeah, that sounds great. And it ties into where my new theme I really had to sit with, and I'll just go straight into my week then, because I know that's our
Hmm.
next segment. So
Right.
for me this week has been about really solidifying this next version of myself and taking into account, I know that the new moon is on the horizon, the winter solstice, and that whole, I don't fall into the new me, new year because it's just, yeah, we won't go into all of that, but
Right.
I don't subscribe to January the 1st, and it's got to be January.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I don't subscribe to. But I subscribe to, especially around this new moon, which is in Sagittarius, which is my rising sign. So
Rising.
yeah, so I feel like that for me, it means even more so for myself, and I'm sure that you can explain it in a bit more detail for me shortly. So yeah, so going
Right.
back to what I was saying, so I've really had to come to terms with what do I want for the next version of myself, something that I was so adamant that I didn't want to do, which was to the word I hate, niche down. And
Mhm.
as you heard in my introduction, I said primarily for women over 45. And I really had to sit with that. Me,
Mhm.
I'm 50 next year. So it's like, where do I want to go and who can I help and why do I want to help them? And I know for me and the clients that I already work with and for myself, identity is a big thing, especially in business, because if you're not if your identity is not clear for you as the individual, it's not going to be clear for you as the entrepreneur. And so with the work that I do, it's not that I currently do it, so it's nothing new. It's just the title that I've changed so that people know, oh yeah, this is what I want. So with the identity
Right.
and confidence coaching, it's about like what it says on the tin, helping you to reclaim your identity using the blueprint of your human design and your gene key as a mirror to show up to you, okay, this is what you could do, this is what life could be like, this is how you could this is how you what could be stopping you. um and again, something I also had to sit with this week is, or not even just this week but just in general, is looking at a personal brand. And something someone said to me this week is that I am the personal brand.
Yeah.
Stop trying to think of these different modalities are my personal brand. I am the personal brand. And that then had to mean that for me meant about my own identity as being the personal brand. So identity for me means so much. And I thought that's really where I see myself going and helping people primarily, well, not even primarily, as the first phase, helping you with your identity. And so I came up with my own formula, so to speak. So it's identity plus impact. Now, once you know your identity, you can have a greater impact on the people that you're serving. Hence why I've gone down the route of women over the age of 45, because
Right.
that's who I want to impact mostly, majority. And then once I know who I want to impact, they will then know that I can help them and hence they will spend money with me. So that's my income.
Mhm.
So identity plus impact plus income equals legacy. Now, I can, I think I speak for everybody that say they want to leave some form of legacy behind, whether you have an immediate family or not, just as,
Right.
just something that we want to do, and whether it be for our family, whether it be for our friends or the people that we serve. So when we look at people that have left a legacy, it's not because of their income why we know them for that what we know them for.
Right.
It's first and foremost is the identity that they left behind, who they are as an individual. And that is something that I really went deep with this week. And why identity? I knew on the surface level, but I really wanted to get deeper as my line one self really wanted to get deeper into the research of why does identity matter to then have leave that legacy that I want to leave, or that I want to leave behind, and that I know other women that I work with want to also leave behind. And that's what I come up with. So first and foremost, knowing your identity will support you in your on your impact, which will then inevitably support increase your income. And when I was looking at the reverse, looking at it as income first, that's when things were. And when
Right.
you now, and the reason why I mentioned that is because you talk about the finances and leaving behind that negative playing small in our finances. For me personally and the clients that I work with, when we looked at income first, we want to make 10K, we want to make 6K, we want to make these figures, but we
Right.
don't know who we are first in order to make that figure, and we don't know who we're serving that's going to pay us to get to that figure. And so
Hmm.
that's why I really had to switch it around and say impact before income. So
Hmm.
that was my formula first, impact and then income. But then I had to add on identity before both of those to then
Hmm.
get to the end point and make the the money that we can make. Because if we know our identity, we know what we do, we believe in what we do, we know that you and I do very unique things. We're very creative, but once we know that now, we've always known that, but once we know, right, this is what we want to do and this is the impact we're going to make, I truly believe 2026, the year of the
Right.
horse, we're going to be off to the races, as we say in the UK. So that's literally been my week. And to top it, there's something that I've wanted to do as, say, like a family business, also leaving a legacy. And I've been trying to get my nephew on this. And he's been at year auntie. I don't know what clicked. I sent him a video of someone doing the thing that I'm proposing for us to do, and I'm hoping, he said it's clicked. He said he's on it. He said he's in for it. And we're going to have our first meeting, so to speak. I'll tell more, I'll speak about it more, but I just wanted to, I think it tied in nicely when now I'm talking about legacy. I'm working with my nephew, who's obviously a lot younger than me.
Hmm.
And that is, if I teach him, each one teach one, I teach him how to do things. He can then teach his younger brother and younger sister. And then we're leaving a legacy and creating a family ecosystem, so to speak. So yeah,
Right.
that has been literally been my week. And I'm talking about family. I go and pick my grandson up tomorrow, no, on Saturday. So I'm
Oh, that's
looking.
good.
So it's just nice. It's been a
That's
great week.
good.
Yeah. How about
Right.
yourself?
Okay. So when you were talking, I don't want to forget about it before I start when I start talking about myself. But you were okay. So this new moon, the end of the year being in your first house, the first house represents your
Mhm.
identity, and And it's one of the houses, one of the two houses I look at when I create people's brand identity, your first house and your 10th house.
Okay.
So and the Jupiter, the planet that rules Sagittarius, is 8 houses away from the new moon and from your first house. So it represents transformation in your identity, and it also represents legacy. So like you're on it. You are on it. I would say some other stuff, but I don't want to get into it too deep. But for me, just a lot of reflection on just seeing some things becoming clearer to me that I've let stop me, that I didn't really know were stopping me, like just things becoming clearer, like if when you're around a group of people or with someone, it's easy to say, or I'm not doing this because of them, or and I'm not doing this because of them or whatever. And then when you're not around them anymore, you can't use them as an excuse anymore, so you can see clearly, like, oh no, no, that was me, that was that was me, and that's been me. And
Mhm.
you get to see clearly the things that ways I've been sabotaging myself, that it's just becoming really crystal clear, roots that I can pull up that will really help me in 2026. So just just really reflecting on the whole year, things like that.
And something that you mentioned there, again, it comes back to that word identity.
Hmm.
You've relinquished
Yeah,
the
me.
old identity, and now
Hmm.
this is a new identity that you're creating for yourself. And now that you know, okay, it wasn't that person, or it wasn't that part of my life why I'm not doing things now. I haven't got that as a quote unquote excuse now. So this
Right.
identity, this person now, this me now has to make it an impact in a different way. And so,
Hmm.
you would have thought we've rehearsed this, and we haven't spoken since the last time we did
Yeah, it's like,
2 weeks
oh, it's
ago.
all me now. Like,
Yeah,
it's all me now.
yeah, this is you now. So this is the identity that you want to go forward with.
Mhm.
The previous identity that you had was that you was coming against that brick wall, and now that brick
Right.
wall has crumbled.
Hmm.
Right to that brick wall crumbling. It's straightforward for you now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what, yeah. And you were saying like Sagittarius is a, what do you call it? It's a half man and a centaur.
Mm.
Sagittarius is a centaur, and everyone's saying, I guess it's through Chinese astrology that 2026 is the year of the horse, and so
Yeah.
it's just a whole lot of running, and that's true right now too, because with conjunct with the new moon is the planet Mars, and Mars it's conjunct with the new moon, but it's also in Capricorn where it's exalted. So that means it's a planet that it works the best. Then Mars likes to move really fast and do things, be really focused and move really fast and go, go, go. So, and I was saying in my class that I teach with for astrology, that it's almost like Mars being exalted and connected with the new moon is just like pushing us forward to make sure that we are taking action on what we really believe, with the new moon being in Sagittarius.
And you saying that, I'm just looking at my notes here, because I made some notes about Mars because on I believe it's the winter solstice. So like I mentioned, the sun is going to be in gate 10 as well, which we're going to be talking about today. But the sun, the moon, and Mars all in gate 10. So as you meant, Mars is about the drive and motivation, the action and the movement, and being assertive and courage. Am I right in saying that?
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so bringing all of those together, then you've got the sun as your identity, the moon as the emotional. It it really does make a difference in terms of when we're looking at self. You've got Mars, the sun, and the moon all in gate 10 and all looking in on self. I'm sure you can expand on that in terms of like the astrology, which you probably just did actually, in terms of the astrology aspects. But I just wanted to bring in the fact that this is the notes that I already had as well in terms of for gate 10 for Mars. Mars has been brought into the mix as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, Mars does is rules the first house, where Aries, it rules Aries, and Aries represents the self,
Mm,
and a lot of this new moon for me, with the new moon being in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius representing our beliefs, our philosophies, you know, when beliefs your beliefs are a big part of your brand identity, getting back to the self, you know. And so I just wanted to talk about, like, we are going to have to, like, review where we are, since it's the end of the year. A lot of us are doing it subconsciously or consciously, just reviewing, who are we now, where did this 2025 take me,
mm.
and, like you said, making sure our individual selves are in alignment with our brands, right? So knowing what your brand believes and what it doesn't believe is a really big part of your brand identity, you know. And that carries through to your brand voice, your brand messaging, just about everything you do. And with Lilith, the asteroid Lilith is moving into Sagittarius. Um, is it the 20th? Yeah, it's the 20th. So that's right around the same time as the new moon, because the new moon is on the 19th. For
Well,
the 20th,
actually, it's the 20th.
for the
It's
20th
the
for you, yeah.
19th, 20th. It's the 20th for me in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah. So wherever Lilith is, she shows where we could have been rejected by other people, or we could have rejected ourselves. And so when if Lilith is in Sagittarius, then she's going to be for the 9 months that she's going to be in Sagittarius. It could be bringing up times where our beliefs, saying what we believe or believing something different, could have gotten us rejected, or it could make us reject certain things. But it's important for us to, like, move past that, do any shadow work we need to do to see, like, what is it keeping me from saying or expressing what I really believe, and how has expressing what my real beliefs are, um how has that made me feel rejected in the past, or how have I rejected my own beliefs in the past, and what were the effects of that? The last time Lilith was in Sagittarius was 9 years ago, and I was thinking about that was 2017, and so I was thinking about my beliefs 9 years ago, and my beliefs really did get me in big trouble 9 years ago.
Did you see my face when you said 9 years? I was like, right. So for me, this is 9 years since I've 9 years sober.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that 10, 9, no, no, I can't talk. It's just like, wow, okay. Um, 9 years sober, and then I had my breakdown in 2015. So my beliefs about myself, my identity then was way different to who I am today. Even my
Hmm.
identity pre breakdown was different. I was having this conversation yesterday actually, and so for me that yeah, my beliefs and my identity have evolved as it should, but in terms of I call it my breakdown to my breakthrough. That breakdown
Hmm.
really supported my breakthrough, to be fair, and really helped me
Right.
to to identify who am I, what's happening with me, why are these things happening to me, and what needs to be changed in my life. And one
Right.
other thing before I forget, it's nothing to do with Lilith, but it is to do with the year, like the animal, the year. So this year is the year of the snake, and we're going to be talking about, you spoke about like shedding and shadow work. You're there with the
Hmm.
shaped snake, and the snake sheds its skin. And so coming towards the end, so now we were coming towards the end of the year. It is about like what do we need to shed? What needs to go? What needs
Hmm.
so that was kept coming back to, that was kept coming to the forefront of when you was talking like the year of the snake. What do we need to shed at this time now to just move forward?
Yeah, and I was hearing other people say, like, if you don't, because this is such a big, the winter solstice, this specific winter solstice is such a big, like, reset for us. Whatever we don't shed now, whatever we don't let go of now, it's like you almost have to keep it or keep working with it for another 25 years or something like that.
Oh gosh.
So,
And also, if we look at numerology, this is the year nine. So year nine's about closing offs as well, isn't it? So about ending.
Mhm.
So there's when for me personally, when this came up for me, right, what do I want? What needs to end? And what needed to end for me was trying to be everything and everywhere, and despite being a manifesting generator who can do this, that, and the other. I, I don't have to. I now know how to. Where did I need to rein myself in going into the year of the horse? Where did I need to rein myself in and just put my blinkers on? And so yeah, that's
Right.
literally for next year going into the year of the horse. It is putting my blinkers on, and because I'm doing too much of this, so I have to personally put my blinkers on to keep me focused, to keep me saying, okay, this is the path that I'm on. This is where I'm going, and that's what I had to shed. I had to shed that. Oh yeah, I can do this. I can that shiny
Hmm.
object syndrome that definitely needed to go for me. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that really tied into a lot of yeah, a lot of what we're talking about today, like the gate 10, which is the gate of self-love, and what you're speaking of about the Sagittarius. So I don't know if there's anything else you need to continue, or would you want me to go into a bit more about gate 10?
You can go ahead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So as we know, is that the new moon is that reset, but then we've also got gate 10, which in and I'm reading from my notes, that's why I'm looking down. So we've got the gate 10 in human design is about the behavior of your true self and being authentic, being your authentic self. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and self-love and going within. And for what that meant for me in the work that I do, it is that identity when you're working and when I'm working with people in their identity, it is going within. There are going to be some things that I pull up on your chart that you might like. It may make you cringe, oh my gosh, like. But again, it's that holding up a mirror to you and saying, this is what things are looking like right now, but this is what things could look like in the future. So that's the one thing that also had to come to terms with by using these modalities. There's that I want to use the human design and gene keys as mirrors, and not as like, not to box people in to say, oh yeah, you're this, you're that, and this is how you have to behave. No, it's a mirror. Take what resonates with you and disregard what doesn't resonate with you. So yeah, so gate 10 is all about like self-love. And then when we look at it at from the gene keys, which is gene key 10, the shadow of gene key 10 is self-neglect. So you could like, it's the self-abandonment, um, adaptive behavior to belong. So a bit like what you mentioned about your previous identity, maybe that was an adaptive behavior to belong in an environment that you were in. And so that's when you know you're living in the shadow of gene key 10, and the identity shaped by approval or validation. So instead of having that self-love, you want to be approved by other people. And if I flip that back to myself, it was that whole, oh yeah, I want to do it this way so that it be more palatable, and people can understand, and who's going to understand what I'm doing, and I need to do it. I won't lead with human design and gene keys because it's seen as this and it's seen as that. No, that was me looking for external validation from outside. But now the gift of Gene Key 10 is about naturalness, is about the authenticity. And so when I'm natural, when I'm authentic with the work that I do, people just the right people who I want to impact will navigate to me rather than
Hmm.
trying to hide behind, oh, I'm this and I'm that. No, this is what I do. And just being not relentless, but do you know your time, date, and location of birth, and really like getting into it. And another thing that I had to do, what came natural to me, was my bodybuilding. So people that may not know, I'm a former British champion bodybuilder. Now I didn't start bodybuilding because I wanted to become a British champion bodybuilder. I actually got into physical activity that led me to the bodybuilding. Why do I say this? Is because it was just something that came natural to me. And the more I did it, the more I blocked out the external noise, because trust me, there was a lot of external noise about what black women do you know has muscles, and what man's gonna want you, and don't do this, and don't get too big, and all this don't was so much. And it's I feel like I'm in that stage again in terms of the work that I'm doing, in terms of the human design and the gene key. Like, who does that? Why does you doing that? This doesn't work, and it's this a load of BS. And I need to just close my ears off to it all. Be my natural self. This is what I do. This is how I help people with their identity and their confidence. And I know it works. Simple as that.
Hmm.
Who likes, come forward. If you don't, step back so that other people can come forward. And that's for me is Gene Key 10 in its gift, is being your
Right.
natural self, and without the facade, without trying to have the external validation. And then that's how I feel my impact is going to be made, and then my income, and then lo and behold, the legacy. And so, if anyone's listening to this, if even if you're in a business or not, just know that when you're in your gift, when you're in your light, when you're in alignment with Gene Key 10, it is about being your most authentic self and loving yourself as you are, and
Hmm.
not trying to put on all the airs and graces to please others, or to say that, well, I have to work with this certain audience or this certain demographic because of X, Y, and Z. Who do you feel most comfortable working with? Yes, I've said women over 45, but that doesn't exclude me having a conversation yesterday with someone who was 30, because they
Right.
they aligned with my identity, you know?
Hmm.
So it's just that in business, we're just talking to a selective person or people. So what else have I got on my, yeah, it just basically repeats itself, just about being driven by your inner truth. When you're in
Yeah.
aligned behavior, your energy feels stable and grounded, and your business feels simple, as the more simple and clearer. Like, do you know how clear I feel right now? It's like
Hmm.
it, yeah. I know this as a business strategist, because this is what I help my clients to do. But sometimes when
Hmm.
when it's yourself, it's just like, help. And yeah, it's just about just releasing those people pleasing tendencies that we may have, and going forward again in just our authentic self. So one thing that I have done is, I'm in the just in the final peak putting it together, is a spreadsheet, but it's going to be used as like a document. And I'm sure you've heard of like the 12-week year, or 90 days, or the quarter, doing work in quarters. So what I've done is that the winter solstice is a 12-week duration, because it's from the winter solstice to the spring equinox, which is actually 12 weeks and 5 days to be precise. Yeah. So I've created a spreadsheet that allows us to set our goals and review them on a weekly basis, but
Okay.
also look at something what we call the wheel of life. And it goes through like, 8 different aspects of life, whether it be health, wealth, spirituality, lifestyle. Um, and you rate each one of those from 1 to 10. And you'll see over the 4 quarters of the year how you're improving in each of those areas. And like you mentioned earlier about the wealth, so someone's wealth might be a 4, but as they go through the year, they might start rating it higher, because they see their wealth or their income increasing as a result of what they're doing in their business. And so I've done that. And then there's 3 parts. So that you've got the 12-week identity and direction planner, then you've got the wheel of life, and then you've also got the human design journal. So what the human design journal looks at is, you can choose from your type, and then it will then, once you've chosen your type, it will give you some prompts to journal on. You can do that with your type, strategy, authority, and your profile. So each of those areas of your human design blueprint, it will enable you to, yeah, it will automatically create journal prompts for you to sit down and go through, and it's worked out on each type has different journal prompts because we all think like each type thinks differently, and the language that is used in each type is different, such as and the same goes with the strategy, authority, and your profile. So yeah, so that's something that I'm putting together, which when we upload this recording, I'll share a link to that, and that's going to be my winter solstice gift to people, because I just feel like we all need to have no, like be aware of our identity and the direction that we're going forth into the next year and the years to come. So that
Right.
is literally my wrap up of the new moon, the winter solstice, and Gene Key and Gate 10.
Okay. All right. I wanted to go back to at the beginning when I was looking at the cards and I was talking about leaving things behind financially. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and it's retrograde right now. And it's also in the nakshatra Ashlesha. And Ashlesha is represented by the Nagas, which is snakes. It represents snakes. And so you're talking about this being the year of the snakes and needing to make sure we're shedding things. Specifically with this new moon, we have to make sure that we're shedding whatever is keeping us from financial expansion. With Ashlesha, it's like we can cling on to things that we know aren't good for us, but because of insecurities or whatever, we still hold on to it. And for some things we might be holding on to for so long, we don't even know that we're holding on to it. It's just something that we're just used to doing. So I believe doing shadow work around financial expansion, abundance, how that has kept you stuck in 2025. I think that will be really helpful. Um, but also just knowing, like, I don't want to say you be prepared to fight for your beliefs, but it might be people that want you to fight for, to um, prove that what your beliefs make sense or make some type of argument, do some type of debate. Some people might want you to do that, but it's important that you are really, like you said, just the self, being strong in the self. Um, know what you believe, hold on to what you believe. Is going to be tests, it's going to be people trying you, but holding on to what you believe and being honest with that is really what's going to take us forward really strong and help us recreate a new structure for our lives in 2026. So that's what I
Ashe.
want to say about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that it's just beautiful how in alignment this all is. And I say this every time we record, actually. It's just nice to see from your perspective and from my perspective, and just seeing that, it's not even two worlds, because I believe that what we do is just in one world anyway. And when I say world, just in the one ecosystem. Um, yeah, it's just the message is still the same. Is that we just got to, how I would wrap that up is we've just got to believe in ourselves and block out those naysayers and just go forth and multiply in, health, wealth, and relationships. And relationship is first and foremost the relationship with self.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I just want everyone to look out for at my YouTube channel and my Instagram channel. So I'm doing a series on how to create a brand messaging framework for yourself and for your brand. Um, and also look in the description. Andrea's calendar will be there. And also my reading to help you understand your divine feminine path. I'll with the reading, I'll look at your Venus, I'll look at your moon, and I'll look at your Lilith so you can understand your unique divine feminine signature. So that's
Just
what
want to
this
just
that's
just want to do a little correction there. It's not a calendar, it's actually a planner. Sorry.
Oh, planet, my bad. My bad.
Just in
I'm
case
trying to
anybody's looking for the
declassify
calendar, it's
it.
like, there isn't a calendar here. No, it's an identity and direction plan, a 12-week identity and direction planner. Yes.
Okay.
Just
My
so they know
bad.
what they
Hashtag calendar. All right.
no, just so that they know what they're getting. I didn't mean to no
Yeah.
embarrassment or any shame there. It was just so that they know what they're gonna be getting and what they're looking for. But yeah, this is actually our last meetup
For the year,
for
yeah.
the year for 2025, and
Hmm.
it's been I'm glad we decided to do these series because it benefits both of us and it also impacts others. And so even if I look at it from my formula point of view, we're learning more about identity in our own profession. We're impacting more people, and the income may come from that impact, but the income will come because we're improving on our identity. So even if it's not from here, because this is not technically for making an income, but it's to help us in our world, in our business. This is what we do in our business, and so we're giving people an insight into how we could potentially help them going forward. So yeah, I'm glad, and let's see what 2026 brings for us.
All right.
So
Exactly.
I wish you a happy festive season and a happy new year, and can't wait to what's to come for us. Let's
All
get
right.
get into it.
Well,
So
same
thank you
here.
very
Same
much,
here.
and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And hype.
Oh, and hype. Okay
All
then.
right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. This feels goofy.
Uh,